Somebody show up at your house unannounced yesterday? What happened?
No. I saw this on social media. It was a question that I was about to say touch me, but that sounds extremely sensitive and emotional for no reason. I was just like, wow, I could talk about this for days. And it was, who's allowed to show up to your house unannounced?
Nobody.
Zero. The reason why it struck me is because I've always been the type of person to show up to people's homes unannounced.
Yeah.
If I'm out and about and your name drops on my spirit, I'll say, you know what? Let me go see and make sure they're good, and I'll just show up to someone's house. I do it all the time.
Even now in 2026?
Up to about a year ago until something happened.
What happened? What happened?
My sister-in-law, Jasmine, she was talking about how somebody else close to us had came over to their house one day unannounced, and she wasn't a fan of it. And then she said, what if your brother and I are having sex? And that just it was all in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm all set.
Your brother having sex with your sister-in-law is in your head?
Because what if they let me in when I show up unannounced? Now I'm hugging and stuff, and you
wouldn't walk in like if the door was unlocked.
No, but it's still.
No, I was just curious. Some people would.
Even if they stopped and opened the door, you come in, you could just feel the energies a little bit different. And I don't want to interrupt that.
Smell the stink, the badussy in the air.
I will say this. If you are going through something and you need to come by my house because life is just really bad or you're suffering or whatever, fine, show up at my house. Otherwise,
snapped.
Wow. I need a text or a call or an advance warning.
Even Henrietta?
No.
Okay.
But my mother's not going to just show up.
Right.
But the question is, who is allowed to show up to your house unannounced?
Right.
I don't even, that to me isn't even, it's like a foreign concept just because that's literally how I grew up, was people just showing up in my house unannounced.
Well, me too. But it doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah, times
no, but it's
changed.
just like it's just what people do. So if you show up, you show up. If I'm awake, I'm awake. If I'm
funny you say that, Ramiro. I actually was thinking about going by your house the other day.
Come through.
But my thoughts were, I am not going over there without at least calling or texting you first.
I always say to you,
because I figured you weren't there, but B, I would never just show up unexpectedly on someone.
What do I always say when you're like, oh, yesterday I was like in your area or whatever?
Should have come through.
I'm like, you should have come through.
Wait, so is it considered rude or just an inconvenience?
It depends what I'm doing.
It doesn't matter, like, because
I wouldn't say rude. Well, maybe.
I'm probably the worst person to ask that question to, because whatever I'm doing, if it's like something that's important, you come through and I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, whatever, make yourself at home, but I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not telling you to leave.
So I live in an apartment building, and I have neighbors that I'm really friendly with, and every once in a while, one of them will knock on the door, and I just don't answer it because I'm like, I'm not. A lot of times I'm not dressed. And it's like, oh, now I got to put clothes on or something, It's just, and it's always for something stupid. It's not stupid, but like, shout out to my boy Juan upstairs. He was inviting me to a barbecue in the backyard. So that was cool. But it's like, all that stuff you can just send a text. Don't come to the house. Just send a text.
My door, multiple times a week, doorbell rings or the door gets knocked on or the door just opens, like my neighbor's kids coming through to play with my kid. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Because my kids do the same thing. They're like, can we go play with the neighbors? I go see if they're home. And we just send them over. Yeah, and if they don't come back, that means they're home. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, like, I've also thrown them out of my house before. One time they were all running around chasing the dog, and I was like, yo, get out. Like, you come in, you're going to get yelled at like my kids.
There are people out there right now who can vouch for this. I'll show up to their house. They won't answer the door. I don't know if they're home. I'll write a letter. I'll leave a note. I enjoy that stuff. Write
a letter, like, and put it in their mailbox?
Yeah,
you have been watching Yellowstone.
I'll go back to the car, see if I can find a piece of paper, and I'm talking about a sentence or something written down, and then I leave and I go on about my business.
I get my mail like 2 or 3 times a week, so I'll be like, oh, yo, I saw you came through on Monday, and it's a Thursday.